This is the most brutal massacre in the history of the ocean. Tens of thousands of seabirds swoop down from the sky like cannonballs. This is also an organized and conspired collective hunting operation. Predators from the sea, land, and air come in and out and jointly stage the most spectacular natural wonder in the world. Welcome to Cryptic Creature. Press the subscribe button and hit the bell icon. On the ecological treasure island of Siberia, various seabirds, sea fish, goldfish, and other animals will gather here without prior agreement from May to June every year. Seagulls are the first to arrive, and they gather on the beach early to wait for an opportunity. On the other side of the ridge, nearly 1 million puffins are also ready to go. Even flocks of golden birds come from faraway Europe and Africa to join the waiting team. At the same time, on the sea level not far away, tens of thousands of dolphins are breaking the waves and advancing towards the island, and thousands of sea lions are following closely behind to intercept the team. In the deep sea, tuna are swimming rapidly, also heading straight for the island. Countless humpback whales in the ocean are also gathering. After migrating 3,200 kilometers, they are the last group of guests to arrive. With the arrival of this ocean giant, all the participants of this annual event have been gathered. The reason why they came here from afar is actually hidden in the kelp under the waves. There are dozens of small silver carps, and each of them carries nearly 20,000 eggs. Like turtles, carps must lay eggs on the sand by the sea, which is almost a suicidal way of reproduction. It is not an exaggeration to say that they have gone through many hardships before they can take action on their way to lay eggs. As a large number of carp surged out, the humpback whales that had been running for a long distance had no time to rest and blew the horn of attack, and a massacre against carps began. The humpback whales couldn't wait to launch the first attack. When they swam here, they had not eaten for several months and were already starving. Humpback whales swallowed thousands of hairy carps in one gulp, which was harmless to billions of fish. But the hairy carps came here not just to be the humpback whales' food. Facing the huge humpback whales, their only way was to escape. But just out of the wolf's den, they fell into the tiger's mouth. The hairy carps were soon surrounded by thousands of sea lions. If they wanted to successfully lay eggs, they had to gather together to get eggs. All the hairy carps quickly a huge sphere firmly protecting the fresh fish in the center, and the outer layer of the fish school was all male hairy carps. In this way, even if they were attacked, it was basically only the male fish that were eaten. The entire fish school was as indestructible as a copper wall. Suddenly, a group of unscrupulous tunas took advantage of the situation and tried to disrupt the path of the hairy carp school. But the tunas obviously underestimated the wisdom of the people at the bottom of the cave. Even if the fish group was broken, the hairy carp could still fly away within 0.001 seconds. Before the opponent could react, the hairy carp once again firmly protected the female fish and vowed to protect the safety of the female fish. This is the belief of the male fish that never changes, even if it sacrifices his own life. Seeing that the hairy carp was not disrupted by them, the sea lions and tuna shamelessly called on other sects to jointly encircle and suppress the fish school. Now, sea lions, dolphins, sharks, and tuna took turns to appear. These former natural enemies formed an alliance in front of the hairy carp. Even if the weak hairy carp tried their best to avoid it, they could not stop the joint attack from all sides. After this battle, the fish group suffered heavy losses, and millions of hairy carps were buried. However, the adventure was not over. As the mullet was gradually driven to the front sea, the hungry predators began to take off urgently. Without giving the mullet any chance to breathe, thousands of seabirds dived on the underwater mullet. Each seabird that went down would pick up a mullet, and tens of thousands of seabirds would dive and eat hundreds of thousands of mullet in a few rounds. The surviving mullet rushed to the coast, and the seagulls that had gathered on the shore were looking forward to the food that was delivered to their door. The mullet was ready to sacrifice itself for the safe birth of its children, and they rushed to the beach in waves. The male mullet was still the first to take the lead. While the seagulls were busy eating the male fish, the fish quickly shoveled the fish eggs in the gap of more than 10 seconds. If they were lucky, the next wave would bring them back to the sea again. The fish scoops up the eggs, and the male fish scramble to get close to it so that it can collect sperm for the eggs a few seconds before they are swallowed by seagulls. Although most of these fish can return to the sea to scoop up eggs again, almost all male fish die. The sperm-collected eggs are only attached to the sand, crystal clear and shining like gems. 2 weeks later, the young fish will hatch and be washed into the sea by the waves. The waves sent their parents to the shallows, and now they come to take them back to the sea.